Okay, so we are going to be using our chair, but starting out, we got a few standing exercises to do. So let's just go ahead by loosening up our hips. We're going to do some standing hip openers. Now we are starting out with the hips, but we are going to do a bit of a full body day today. Just a great opportunity if you've been sitting for a while, just to stand up, loosen up some of those major joints, whether it be in the hips, knees, ankles, shoulders, or the spine. We're going to incorporate that as well. All right, go ahead, switch legs. And as always, you can hold on to a wall or a chair if you need a little extra help with balance. But if not, this is a great tool to practice that balance. Great job. I'm going to go ahead and reverse my rotation. So now I'm pulling that leg up and forward. Love doing this incrementally during the day. If I've been sitting for a while, just stand up for a few seconds, do these hip openers, get that blood pumping again, plus loosen up those hips, which can get really tight whenever we sit for long periods of time. All right. Next up, we're going to get a little bit of spinal rotation going. So what I'm going to have you do, stand up straight, go ahead and tighten your core. And then from there, we're going to go into a few rotations. So as you do this, do try to keep your core tight because we want a lot of that mobility to be coming from our thoracic spine, that mid back. We don't want all the rotation coming from our lower back. That lumbar is there to stabilize. We want to mobilize a little bit higher than that. We can make sure that happens by tightening that core, keeping that lower back in position. Great job. Do a few more controlled rotations. Very nice. All right, next up, I'm going to go into a slightly wider stance. And now I'm going to drive my hips to one side. I'm starting out by driving my hips to the right. A couple different ways you can do this. You can either shift your whole torso to that side, keep your opposite leg straight. You're going to feel a pull on that inside of the thigh. Now, whenever I do this, I don't normally hold these for extended periods of time. This can be a little bit of a sensitive area whenever we stretch it out. So I will just hold 1 to 2 seconds, and then I will shift to the other direction. If your torso is a little bit tight, maybe you've been doing a workout that's really got those intercostal sore, which are the muscles in between your ribs, then what you can do as you shift to the side, you can add in a little bit of a side bend from your torso. Maybe take that arm and bring it over as well. As you shift, go to the opposite direction. That'll get a nice stretch all the way down your torso, but just an option you can add in. Otherwise, just slowly shift side to side, keeping that opposite leg straightened out. Great job. All right. Next up, we're going to grab our chair. And if you come to any of my desk stretch, you know that we do a lot of forward folds. It feels great. Stretch out the hamstrings as well as the back. Going to do them a little bit different today. We're going to do them seated. So what I'll have you do for this is take the legs. We're going to go into a wide stance. And now you can do this sitting in any chair. But from here, you're just going to lean forward and you're just going to allow yourself to fall forward with gravity as far down as you can comfortably get. And once you're in this position, you can just let gravity take control, try to relax. This is one of the few movements that we'll do where I'll say it's totally fine if you have a curvature in your back. If you bend over, then we're just holding. And it doesn't matter how far down you get, just depending on flexibility or mobility or just anatomy. Some might get a little bit further down on your bend than others. Totally fine either way. Great job. Also a great way to further stretch out those hips, especially if you've got a significantly wide stance. Nice job. You can go ahead and come back up from that. Let that back adjust if you need to. All right. And now we're still going to be using our chair, but we're going to be in a standing position. And so I will say for this, if you are using a desk chair that has wheels on it, I would make sure that you've got this pushed back against a wall or a desk, or if the wheels can lock to do that, because we don't want this rolling out from underneath us. But what we're going to do with this is I'm going to start by elevating my right leg, and I'm going to place my right foot up on the seat. And then from here, you can keep that back leg straight. And I'm going to shift my weight forward. So as you do this, you might notice a couple things. If you keep your heel on the floor, as you shift forwards, you're probably going to be getting a nice stretch in your calf. Also, if you keep neutral hips, so I'm squeezing my glutes and keeping my torso upright, you'll find that you get a nice stretch in your hip flexors. If you want to go a little bit deeper into that, then you can just raise that left arm up to the sky. Keep that torso upright. We don't want to lean forward with this because we're going to lose that stretch in our hip flexor. All right, let's go ahead and change sides. Now I'm going to elevate my left foot, shift that body weight forward. And for most of us, you know, you're just going to be putting this up to the height of the seat on your chair. But if you do have access to changing up the height of your seat, or if you have something like one of these plyo boxes where you can change the height, and this is a great thing to work up to right now. I have mine on a height that challenges me, gets in a nice stretch whenever I elevate that leg, but it's not so high that I'm not able to completely get into it full neck stretch. So just a fun thing to play around with if you have any sort of adjustment on your seat. All right. Great job. Now we've done quite a bit with lower body. Let's do a little bit of upper body real quick. I'm going to be seated for this. You can do this standing, but I'm just going to do a little bit of a seated calf stretch. So how we do this, we're going to take our arms, extend them out in front of us, and then as we tuck our chin, we're going to press our shoulders forward, put a nice big bend in our mid to upper back. And then we're just going to return to our starting position. I find you can get a nice deep stretch if you exhale as you press forward. Inhale, back up. Let it follow your breathing. Nice job. If those shoulders are tight or back in between your shoulder blades, this is a great stretch. Nice job. Let's go one more time. Very nice. All right, next up, we're going to take our hands, place them behind our back. I'm clasping my hands together behind my back. Pull those shoulders back, puff that chest out. And now I'm just going to continue to pull those shoulders as far back as I can. You can even try to raise those hands off of your back a bit behind you. You're not going to get very far with it because it is an awkward position, but really we're just trying to focus on opening that chest up. So we're pressing our chest out, pulling those shoulders. Getting a nice big stretch both on the front of our shoulders as well as that chest. You can even do this as repetitions, so you don't have to hold that the entire time. You can just hold for 1 to 2 seconds, relax, and then ride back into it. Very nice job. All right, go ahead and relax, guys. That is our death stretch for today. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Real quick, before you leave, if you haven't taken part in our Q-Fit Perform series, go ahead and stick around for just another minute. I'm about to throw that poll up for you to answer our question of the day.